Welcome to the Campaign Chronicle. Here's what's going on beneath the spin. Congress just doesn't get it. Washington is now again on the precipice of a government shutdown because the spending bill is being tied to a payroll tax cut that the both parties agree they need to make, but they can't agree on the means. Last night, Democrats dropped a provision that would have put a surtax on people making more than $1 million a year to help pay for the payroll tax cut. But the Republican bill has tied this payroll tax cut to the Keystone Pipeline. There are some paths ahead. It's true. Senator Rand Paul the other night on Aaron Burnett's show Out Front said that he'd be up for delinking the pipeline from the payroll tax.
I think the pipeline actually passes on a straight up or down vote. Let's have that. If they want to separate it out, and we'll make it a separate vote, and we won't make the payroll tax contingent on it.
But this is the third time this year that this Congress has engaged in the kind of political brinksmanship that led S&P to downgrade the United States. They just don't seem to get it, even with an approval rating in the low single digits. And here's one other thing they just don't seem to get that'll frustrate you in the year ahead. Yesterday, 5 Republicans got together to say they're going to be pushing a bill to essentially weasel out of the sequestration defense cuts. Now, just pull back, remember from the super committee, that was the deal. They had the incentive of ugly cuts to both domestic discretionary spending, which was allegedly going to motivate Democrats to make a deal, and defense spending, which would allegedly motivate Republicans. Well, now John Kyle, one of this group of 5, who was on the super committee, is trying to push this idea that Congress can just exempt itself from the pain that has already been prescribed. President Obama said he'll veto. But this is why people are so cynical about Congress, Exhibit A, because they demagogue the deficit and the debt during campaign season, and then they don't want to deal with it because it's too difficult. No kidding, these cuts would be painful. But I thought that dealing with the generational theft of deficit and debt was a #1 priority. Instead, they're trying to find the cuts elsewhere. It just guts the whole purpose of this. So look, Washington deserves its low approval rating. They keep giving us reasons to distrust them because they can't find ways to reason together, even on this payroll tax cut, which they both agree needs to be done. Washington needs to wake up, and that gang of 150 that got together saying it was time to go big, to come up with a big comprehensive deal, those are the folks who need to be empowered. The gang of 6, the centrist leaders in both parties who've shown an ability to lead together. But the party leadership seems absolutely controlled by the most activist elements of both parties. That's the source of the problem. That's the source of the frustration. That's all from us from Campaign Chronicle today.